No está. No está. Yo no lo veo, tío. Ahora. Buenas a todos, chavales. Otro jueves más con el Inside Star Citizen. Que en este caso es el Renacer de la Arena parte 2. Quita, coño. Ahí está.
I'm still here, still trying to learn what all the buttons do. So while I'm at it, let's not waste any more of your time and get you all right into part 2 of this enormous Arena Commander update that's scheduled to make its way to you in the upcoming Alpha 320. And I'll be right here when you get back.
Dice que sigo aquí, estaré esperando mientras me va haciendo el tema de la Arena Commander para la 3.20. Estaré aquí y volveré de vuelta para cuando salga.
Dear best Jared impersonation.
Oh, I don't want
Last time on Inside Star Citizen.
Just yell really loud. Last time on Inside Star Citizen. I don't even know what accent that was.
Are you excited to be doing 2 ISCs in a row?
It took me over 80 minutes in what we had only scheduled to be an hour to film what was probably a 15-minute episode. I'm sorry. Especially to Jared's team. Sorry, guys.
Siente que me ha llevado tanto tiempo el filmar el episodio. Dice que se siente al estar en 2 episodios de Star Citizen de golpe.
It's awesome to be getting such attention shone on Arena Commander, and I'm excited to finally bring it up to what I believe it has potential to be. I get pinged like every other week asking to put atmosphere in Arena Commander, and now they finally have it, they can stop whining. They're going to whine about something else. I can't stop the whining, but I hope you liked it. So last ISC, we talked a lot about flight, but there's 2 other major parts that we want to be talking about here. And the first is FPS combat. So FPS combat in Arena Commander is so important because you need a place to practice shooting each other without actually dying for real, like you do in the Persistent Universe.
Dice, otras partes importantes de la Arena Commander es el FPS para poder practicar disparos sin morirte en el juego.
So we need to make that experience as close to the Persistent Universe while still having it be fun and unique. So you access Star Marine game modes exactly the same as we showed last week with the new front end, new lobby system, and jump straight into the action.
Ya está comentando eso, que el Star Marine lanzarse pues es lo que enseñamos la semana pasada, de configurar el loadout y tal, y lanzarse directamente a la acción.
So with our existing maps, the VFX team are helping us out and doing a pass over everything. So it might not be finalized in the footage that you're seeing here, but we're excited to see where they can take it and uplift all of our levels because they're in need of a facelift. And we've been working hard on fixing a lot of the bugs and frustrations across the maps.
All I know is they did a lot of bug fixes recently. I don't know, we're not meant to just say bug.
Han dicho que están trabajando con el equipo de efectos especiales y en general en revitalizar los mapas de Star Marine, los antiguos mapas de Star Marine. Y que no están todavía finalizados en las imágenes que mostramos aquí.
Fixes,
Y
fixing
un montón de corrección de errores.
doors that weren't meant to be there, resolving the fact that you could just smash through the glass which you're not meant to be able to smash through, and just go into EVA in the middle of elimination, which is bad. Being able to get into areas you shouldn't be able to get into.
So we fixed those up. In terms of new maps, we've got a variation on a fan favorite, Echo 11. We're introducing that to elimination. The Echo 11 is quite a big map for control. For elimination, we've tightened it up. We've cut off access to the D room and some of A room and made it a little bit smaller so that the action can be more compact and suitable for elimination. So last week,
Dice que en el mapa de Echo 11, que es para meterlo en el modo de eliminación, han quitado algunas salas, han quitado las banderas de la D y todo eso. Bueno, esto lo iremos viendo, ¿no? Pero que han hecho un mapa, una versión reducida del Echo 11 para el todos contra todos.
we showed off Security Post Korea being introduced to dogfighting maps, but we've also introduced it to FPS maps, so you'll be able to play elimination, control, and some of the new game modes on Korea itself.
El tema de los modos de juego en el mapa de Corea, Por ejemplo, esto va a estar bastante guay porque Carea realmente es un sitio que se necesita practicar. Y desde luego, con la implementación de este mapa en el Arena Commander, se va a poner más durito Carea porque va a haber gente que va a tener mucha más experiencia con el mapa.
So to recap, for Star Marine, you'll be able to play on the Good Doctor, a larger version of Echo 11 for control, small one for elimination, and the same for Damien and get Damien comms, as well.
Están diciendo, un momentito que me he quedado...
Play on the Good Doctor, a larger version of Echo 11 for control, small...
Vale, una versión grande de Echo 11, una versión más pequeña para Elimination, Good Doctor.
One for elimination, and the same for Damien and get Damien comms, as well as Security Post Korea, which is...
Vale, Damien Station, Echo 11, Good Doctor y Carea. Serían los mapas que habría para FPS.
Is being introduced to elimination and control. So with the Good Doctor, at some point along the line, all the trees disappeared. So designers went in and restored that, so it's back in this beautiful oasis area that it's meant to be in, and fixed the lighting and various other issues that just happened over time. I don't know how. And now Good Doctor's looking beautiful.
Que dice que el Good Doctor, el mapa de Good Doctor, que era pinta espectacular, que arreglaron que los árboles habían desaparecido y algún tema de iluminación y tal, y que era luz espectacular.
Again. So Star Marine is a personal favorite of mine. I love FPS combat, and I'm so excited to be working on more additions to the FPS area of Arena Commander. And that leads us to something I'm super excited to talk about, and that's experimental modes.
Vale, dice que una de sus partes favoritas es el FPS y que espera poder ir añadiendo más cosas, y que ahora vamos a hablar de los modos experimentales, que está súper entusiasmado de lo de esto.
Experimental modes are important because it allows us to get back into what the real meaning of Arena Commander used to be, which is playtesting and making sure that things that are made for the PU and Arena Commander and Squadron work the way they're meant to. It allows us to put stuff into a testing environment where we can quickly check if just something works the way we want it to, essentially.
Somewhere along the line, we lost that, and when we formed the Arena Commander feature team, we knew that Arena Commander has to stand on its own and have these flagship game modes and new things that are unique to Arena Commander, but we still want to support the persistent universe and other ventures that we go on. Experimental modes are important to us because it gets things in your hands quicker. Instead of waiting for these big, huge game modes to release, we can test things out periodically for a day, a week, a month, and get it into your hands sooner rather than later. So let's dive in and take a look at some of the experimental modes that...
Tengo curiosidad, la verdad, porque dice que los modos experimentales servirán de terreno de testeo para el universo persistente, de tal manera que nos pueden meter algo durante unas semanas, un día o el tiempo que ellos necesiten, y que es una faceta que se había perdido un poco del Arena Commander, de poder utilizarla como banco de pruebas para meter, pues para introducir luego esas mejoras en el universo persistente.
We have been working on. The first experimental mode is single weapon elimination, so you can jump in with what will be pistols at first.
From a developer's standpoint, single weapon elimination gives us the opportunity to really test weapons that we want to get tested. It allows us to check every single part of the weapon balancing and make sure that it works just right. We know.
Vale, este es un modo de juego que se llama Single Weapon Elimination, que es arma única. Entiendo que todo el mundo salta con un arma y que les permite testear, les permite probar cómo funciona un arma de una manera única.
That players want to test their skill against each other, and the best way to do that is to make sure everyone's equal. So everyone gets...
Claro, para poder probar lo que es la habilidad de unos contra otros y poder ver cómo funciona el arma, lo mejor es que todo el mundo vaya equipado igual.
It's the same weapons. Everyone gets the weakest weapons in our first version, and they get to just see who's better than the other.
With 320, we're introducing pistol-only elimination, and that will be the arc-light pistol, and it's a personal favorite of mine. It adds increased time to kill, and it came originally from playing with you guys, the community. And at the end of a long session of Star Marine, someone threw out the idea of like, what, can we do like a pistol-only round? And I just had so much fun with that. We ended up playing for at least...
Claro, están diciendo de que el tema de la ronda de pistola, que lo mítico que se hace, ¿no?, de una ronda de pistola y tal, que es algo que viene de la comunidad y que dice que con este sistema, pues efectivamente que con el Arc Light, que se aumenta mucho el tiempo de matar y tal, y que es mucho más divertido y de todo eso.
Another error. So that mode is inspired by that. So for this patch, it's just pistols only, but we can change it up at any point. It's simple parameters. And if the weapons team come to us with a new weapon they want to test out, they want to get that analytic data, they want to get the fun factor, we can put it into Arena Commander, whatever that weapon is only, and see how you guys like it.
Vale. Esto es una troleada, evidentemente, lo del lanzamisiles con la Picobolt, pero están diciendo de que si hay un arma que se quiera probar, que simplemente la pueden meter ahí para ver el feedback de los jugadores antes de meterla al universo.
The next experimental mode that we're working on is Gun Rush.
Now, names are temporary. They might change between now and release. But Gun Rush is where you start off with a pistol, and as you get a kill, it upgrades you.
And then with every kill, you go to the next type of gun. You go through LMGs, SMGs,
Some special weapons I won't spoil.
snipers, and even the rail.
And then we've put some surprises in there for whoever gets to the last round.
Ok, dice que luego hay otro modo que le llama el Rush Weapon, que básicamente lo que hacemos es que cada vez que matemos nos cambia de arma. Y así hasta que vayamos pillando un arma mejor y dice que hay alguna sorpresa por ahí de armas.
So Gun Rush, as the name might suggest, is super fast-paced. It lets you get your hands on many different weapons as you cycle through them and get some experience with stuff that you hadn't had. For example, I had no idea how to use shotguns. Still don't really, but I'm a little bit better at them now thanks to Gun Rush. So Gun Rush is only possible thanks to the refactors we've been doing to the spawning and loadout modules. So we can, instead of refreshing your entire loadout, switch out just the gun, and it's super fast now, whereas before it was a bit of a clunky thing to do.
Claro, el tema de lo del Gun Rush se debe al cambio que han hecho de la forma en la que nos equipamos las armas ahora y que, bueno, que te permite probar un montón de armas y de forma rápida, ¿no?
In the next experimental mode, we're bringing ground vehicles to Arena Commander, and that is TONK ROYALE.
So there's going to be 3 locations for TONK ROYALE. It's going to be Hurston, Yela, and Magda. So how it works is simply we have a massive arena, we drop you in on these 3 various maps, and you just go to town. There's going to be 3 versions of TONK ROYALE. First is classic elimination deathmatch, respawns, just get as high score as you can. Second is squadron battle, so you...
Vamos a tener batallas de tanques en las ubicaciones de Hurston, Magda y Yela. Y luego, creo que ha dicho Yela, ¿no? Me parece que sí. A ver, bueno, luego nos está comentando de que va a haber 2 modos. O sea, en principio, eliminación, todos contra todos y batallas por equipos.
Our team versus team tanks. In squadron battle, it's super exciting because you can run as just the driver, or you can join one of your teammates and be their gunner.
Ahora dice que en Squadron Battle que puedes ir en tu tanque o puedes ir con tus colegas como artillero.
And the third is still being worked on. Not sure if it's going to be making this release, but super excited about it, is hardcore elimination. So essentially elimination, but you've only got the single life. When a turbo...
Y luego tenemos Hardcore Elimination, pero que solo tienes una sola vida, que están experimentando con eso todavía en vez de respawnear de seguida.
Storm gets introduced to the verse, we'll be sure to add that to TONK ROYALE as well. After 320, we'll also be finishing off our racing refactor, which allow us to make maps faster and merges PU and AC racing systems together. It's going to be a more streamlined process for us, our designers, and a better experience for you, less buggy on both ends. So with the racing refactor, we've also been working on a betting module, which will let you bet on races. Now, we haven't got all of that signed off, but excited to get that in if we can.
A ver, un momento, porque dice que taca.
It's going to be a more streamlined process for us, our designers, and a better experience for you, less buggy on both ends. So with the racing refactor, we've also been working on a betting module, which will...
Que un módulo de apuestas, betting module, creo que se refiere a eso, módulo de apuestas. Creo que sí. Módulo de apuestas, que están trabajando en módulo de apuestas, aparte de arreglar bien y agilizar lo que es el proceso de poder tomar ubicaciones del universo persistente en la arena.
Let you bet on races. Now, we haven't got all of that signed off, but excited to get that in if we can. So just like the persistent universe, all of these maps, game modes, and features need to have their own individual go no-goes. At the time of recording this, we've got some successful goes for Alpha 320 for the following. The new Arena Commander front end.
Vale, estos serían los goes para la 320, las cosas que van a entrar en la 320 en teoría. Sería el frontend, o sea, los menús.
The new lobby system, the new spawning
Sistema de lobby, el sistema de spawneado, de poder spawnear en una parte del mapa concreta o en el asiento de un compañero.
system, which allows for multi-crew gameplay, new death cameras and death recaps, a revamped scoreboard and scoring
Vale, el tema de la puntuación, el tema de nuevas cámaras de muerte.
system, 4 new racetracks for the New Horizons Speedway, Old Vanderval, Rickard Memorial, Defford Link, and Halloran Circuit. In addition to the 4 PU racetracks, the Snake Pit, Miner's Lament, Yadar Valley, and Icebreaker, the Jericho Station dogfighting map, Security Post Curator with dogfighting and FPS maps, the new Pirate Swarm Final Wave Capital Battle.
Vale, aparte de los mapas que habéis visto antes, que van a añadir, estaría esa de Jericho Station y todo eso. Está el nuevo mapa o sea, el nuevo modo de Pirate Swarm.
The new Echo 11 elimination map, and new experimental game modes like single weapon elimination, gun rush, TONK ROYALE, elimination and squadron battle versions, and finally a new infinite wave Vandal Swarm you'll discover for yourself. So that about does it this week.
Oleadas infinitas de Baldur Swarm que descubriréis por vosotros mismos. Nueva Infinite Wave, Wave infinitas, no sé cómo será eso.
I'm so excited to share all these cool developments with Arena Commander.
Oleadas
And
infinitas.
got the list here. I just want to give a shout out back to Adam, Adrian, Bryn, Corwin, Kirk, Mark, Ricky, Samuel, and Sean and Simon and the Arena Commander feature team. I'm sitting here in front of the camera, but man, the work it's thanks to this amazing team that I have.
O sea, está nombrando a los compañeros de equipo que aunque él esté ahí sentado enfrente de la cámara, que el resto de compañeros hacen un trabajo increíble, ¿no?
Just couldn't say no to Jared because he's my dungeon master and I really don't want him to kill my character.
So, what did we learn this week? Well, we learned that changes to FPS maps should make for a more varied experience in Star Marine games.
En serio, tío. Hay que ponerlo otra vez.
So, what did we learn this week? Well, we learned that changes to FPS maps should make for a more varied experience in Star Marine game modes. That the first ground vehicles are finally arriving with TONK ROYALE. And that we hope the new experimental modes will function not unlike dynamic events for the persistent universe, where they can provide timed, direct experiences the team can use for analytics and feedback from things as small as
A ver, ¿qué dice de los...?
timed ground vehicles are finally arriving with TONK ROYALE. And that we hope the new experimental modes will function not unlike dynamic events for the persistent universe, where they can provide timed, direct experiences
Que no funcionen como los eventos dinámicos, a diferencia Claro, que no funcionen a diferencia de los eventos dinámicos que puedan...
the team can use for analytics and feedback from things as small as a single pistol to a brand new vehicle to even curious experiences like gun rush and a few more things that we're not quite ready to share just yet. Also, if you missed last week's show, go check that out and see everything else that's coming your way from the new Arena Commander feature team in the upcoming Alpha 320. There's some fun stuff in there. For Inside Star Citizen, I'm Jared Huckabee. Thanks for exploring the process of game development with us, and we'll see you all here next week.
A ver, alguna suelta. Alguna suelta.
There isn't going to be a post-credits thing in every show.
Dice, no va a haber una mierda después de cada show. Aparte de eso, dice que bueno, que servirá para testear igual que los eventos dinámicos, será para que el equipo pueda probar cosas y tal, y que va a haber cosas más importantes, o sea, más cosas en los modos experimentales que todavía no están listos para compartir. Y ya estaría, chavales. Y con esto nos vamos al diablo. Pues sí. Bueno, lo subiré ahorita. Si no, no.